Hello, hello. This is Carrie from Stamp with CT. And I also have Dale, the crafty husband, in the craft room tonight.
Hello, hello.
So hope you guys are doing well. We're going to give it a minute for Facebook to send out some notifications, see who can join us.
Y'all hold still for just a minute.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we can get things positioned. Need to turn the volume down.
Hello. Looks good.
Okay. You what?
I got a little bit on the edge.
That's okay. You can move it over a tiny bit. They can hold on for just a second. It's going to take a minute for Facebook to send out some notifications, and we'll get situated a little bit. It is finally Friday, and that means our free online class tonight. Each month we do a free online class, and we feature the very same products that we will be using in stamp class that month. So it just gives you more and more ideas with the products that we're using. So we'll go ahead and, again, just wait a couple minutes, see if some friends are able to join us. You can pull your chair on up if you want to, Dee.
All right. I think the earthquake's over. What stamp set is this?
Well, we'll talk about it in just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've heard some feedback from a couple people that it's been hard to find live videos, and I'm not the only demonstrator that is struggling with that. It takes a little bit for Facebook to send out the notifications. And I noticed after I did my Wednesday video this week that probably an hour later I got a notification that I was live, which of course was not correct. So come on, Facebook, help us out here. Looks like we've got a couple friends hopping in now, so be sure to say hello. Let us know who's watching. We're excited to be here with you tonight. What is today? The 7th of June, right?
Yes.
Okay. 7th of June. It's saying no comments, but I always have a little bit of trouble with Dale's phone. He doesn't use Facebook very often, and for some reason it just doesn't like you, does it?
No, it doesn't.
But we'll see. But it does look like we've got a couple friends watching with us.
Good
No
deal.
comments showing up just yet, but hopefully they will. All right, so it's finally Friday for June 2024. Each month we do an online class with you, and it is a free class, so anyone is able to join us tonight and watch the video, watch the projects that we're making, and we're doing 3 fun folds tonight. Well, really, I guess it's 2, isn't it? 2 fun folds and another card. 3 cards. And for this class, for those that register, and you've got a couple ways to do that. If you're part of our Super Inspired Stampers team, you're able to just purchase the Make and Take package for $20, and we'll have all the pre-cut supplies for you so that you can make your projects. And then, if you are a customer, you're able to place either a $40 order and get the Make and Take packet free, or a $50 order in our online store at stampwithct.stampinup.net. You do need to use our host code, which we forgot to write down, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We've had a busy day, y'all. So if you do spend $50 or more, then you're able to get the free Make and Take packet along with an embellishment. But we'll get that host code out for you too. If you are a customer and you place an order, you must use the host code. That's what lets us know you would like this class. And this time we're making 3 cards, 2 of each of the designs. And again, 2 of them are fun folds. Now, I've had some questions about kind of the format of this class. And it really is meant for us to do the class with the video. and you more to watch versus crafting along with us, because this class features, like tonight we're doing fun folds. Last time we did some watercoloring with some masks that Dale made using some dies. So it's teaching a technique, fun folds, that type of thing that's a little bit more than just assembling. So you can watch along with us. Then once you get your packet, you have the video available so that you can watch and create your projects then. So you don't get a packet ahead of time, you're not crafting with us, but we're glad you're here with us, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And it looks like your phone is frozen again, Dee. I don't know why it just doesn't do Facebook well, or if it's just the fact that we've got the two devices. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and go for it. Okay. Yeah, it's not showing any comments at all. So if you are here watching with me, I'd love it if you would send up a heart, place a comment down below, just to let us know that things are functioning properly. That would be great. Because we want to get started with the crafting. But of course, we love technology, right?
Oh, absolutely love technology.
We just love technology.
Looks like your phone's frozen too.
Why is that?
Because I can see my name on there and nobody's joined in, not even me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Just technical difficulties, probably. And we've already been on here for 5 minutes. Goodness. Well, we're going to go ahead and go for it, because we can always upload the video as well. And people can watch later. I'll just keep watching, see if anybody's able to join us. But we're going to get the crafting going. Okay, so for June, for Finally Friday and also Stamp Class, we are featuring a really fabulous suite of products. You want to tell them the name of that, Dee?
This one is Unbounded.
No, wrong page.
Wrong page.
Get to Thoughtful Journey.
Thoughtful Journey.
Sorry. Thought I had it set to the page. Thoughtful Journey. Yeah, it's back this way.
Let's just take a catalog stroll real quick. Here we go.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Thoughtful Journey. What page are we on?
We're on page 46 and 47.
Okay, awesome. Beautiful, beautiful products. We do have the stamps and dies, of course, to share with you tonight. The paper. There is a ribbon. It's been a little bit elusive. It sold out pretty quickly. So even with our ribbon share, we haven't been able to get our hands on that ribbon just yet. So we're not using ribbon tonight. And I think when we do Stamp Class, we're substituting something else out. So that's what's awesome with the coordination of colors and products that we have in our line, is we're able to substitute. But beautiful products, beautiful samples here.
In the samples, they use a lot of the baker's twine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a very nature-y paper and stamps and dies. And so baker's twine is always something good to have on hand. And it's always something that pairs really well with the more nature themed products. Okay, you want to flip through this? You want me to? These are harder. They're not offset like the 12 by 12. So this is a 6 by 6 paper stack. Absolutely gorgeous paper. Lots of colors included in this paper. You've got some beautiful watercolor washes, those nature scenes. Many of these pieces, you just cut it down to a card front size, put a sentiment, you're done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, really, really pretty paper. So gorgeous. Blues, greens, browns.
Purples, yellows.
Yellows, all the whole array of the rainbow, and just really, really pretty. All right, so let me set this aside. And you want to show them the stamp set, Dee?
Sure.
And we've done this the past couple of events. We've made like a resource tool with the dies versus just showing you the dies. And that seems to be something that you guys have enjoyed. Having a resource tool where you actually see the dies cut out. So Dale's got the beautiful stamp set with a couple of sentiments. And then also some pretty images.
This image right here would go great. Would stamped and cut with this die.
Mm-hmm. You've got pieces that coordinate with the stamps and then standalone dies as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a red rubber stamp set, right?
Yes.
Okay. We love that for that really crisp, beautiful image.
Becca said hi.
Hi, Becca. Glad you're here. Looks like we're having a little Facebook tech issues, but maybe it's the bugs are worked out. We appreciate you commenting, letting us know you're here. And then Cheryl made this pretty resource for us, like I said, with those pieces die cut so you can really see how pretty they are. Dies are gorgeous.
They are super cute.
All right, and then we decided to go ahead and pull in the brass, this is hard to say, brushed brass butterflies. You say that?
Quicker.
I can't say it faster than that. Brushed
brass
butterflies. So give it a try, y'all. But they're so pretty. We've used them before. We're bringing them back in, and they are beautiful.
Oh, bring them back in? Is that what you said?
We're bringing them back in for this class.
Look at the shine on them.
They're really, really pretty. I love them. 2 different sizes. Really pretty. So Dale's going to bring our first project in so you can take a look at it. It is a fun fold. And he'll kind of show that off for us. Be the Vanna White.
All right.
So pretty.
It is very pretty.
We have made a card similar to this before, using the Designer Series paper as part of the card base, as the card front. And that way you're able to see both pieces, both sides of the Designer Series paper,
yes,
which
is
fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. This one is a little bit different than what we've done before.
This card would pair real well with that Lost Lagoon paper too.
Mm-hmm. You could really pull from several of the different colors that are shown in the paper. So don't forget that on your paper package and in the catalog and online, it gives you a list of what colors are in the Designer Series paper. So pick up those colors of cardstock, or a couple of them, and then you know what's going to match perfectly, and really pull those beautiful colors out of the Designer Series paper. Now we are using Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow ink tonight. I think pretty much any green, blue, purple, it's going to work. It's going to work. So never stress about whether or not you have the exact inks that we're using. But as I said earlier, if you purchase the packet, whether it's through Team or by placing an order, you get all of the pieces cut, scored, die cut for, well, not necessarily scored this time because that's part of the class, but cut and die cut, ready to go so that you can create the pretty projects. I've just realized there is something that we don't have, but we'll be okay. What you need?
Trimmer, please.
Yes, trimmer. So we've got a card base here that is Mossy Meadow, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You saw Dale was burnishing that fold for us. Good job, D.
Okay.
And first thing we're going to need to do is cut 3 inches off the card front. And what that does...
I'm going to work it from the top up.
Okay. That gives us this arm here, this mechanism piece, so that we can attach the Designer Series paper.
And we're just cutting 3 inches off, right?
Mm-hmm. 3 inches.
Okay.
And gently close that.
Whack.
But set this piece aside because we're going to need it, right?
Yes. Okay.
If not now, at some point maybe.
I'm going to set this over here.
No, let me have it, please, so that we know where the trimmer's at. Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to take that bone folder one more time. All right, we'll set that aside. You want to go ahead and put the inside panel?
Yeah, I'll put the inside panel in. Because I think it helps to, when you place your inside panel, it helps to, when you align the other piece.
Yes, I think so too.
I don't Well, if they saw that dot, dot, not a lot, and squiggle in the middle.
Yep. And we are working on a t-shirt for dot, dot, not a lot. So stay tuned for that. We're excited about that. You want to just get your even borders there.
Okay. And
that's why I said let's hold on to the trimmer. Let me keep it over here where we normally keep it, because you're going to be doing some other cutting, Dee.
Okay.
All right, give me just 1 second. Okay. For your measurements for this, you are looking at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So in the packet, you're going to get a full piece of that designer series paper. So you're going to be able to really kind of choose how you want to utilize your paper.
Okay.
So first thing we want to do, you can just gonna cut 3/4 of an inch off the top.
That's my plan.
To make it 5 1/4.
Yep.
Okay. Hold onto the little strip.
Okay.
Save that. What I like to do is in my paper pack, I just slide all those pieces back down in with the full sheets of paper so that I have all my paper together.
5 1/4 by 4?
By 4. So before you cut into it, really take a good look at your paper.
Okay.
And decide what part of it you want to use. You may decide to trim from either side. You may decide just one side or the other.
Since we trimmed from this side over here, the first go around, should we trim from the different side?
Totally up to you, because it's our card. We can do what we want, right?
And then I'm going to do that.
Okay.
This card is going to look a little bit different.
It is, and that's fine.
Okay.
And again, put those pieces aside. You definitely want to hold on to those pieces.
Okay. Oh, go ahead and glue this on.
You can go ahead and glue that on.
I'm going to put a couple of little dots on the...
I like that.
And then I'm going to lay my paper on here so that it covers up all the white.
Okay.
And just kind of let it make sure that I've got my borders evened up and all, and hold it for just a minute to let the glue set.
There you go.
Like Judy used to say, give it a little back rub.
There you go. Okay, so now you've got your piece, your pretty piece of designer series paper on there. And again, a little bit different look, which is awesome. So now we're just going to do a little bit of decorating. And again, we're going to need our trimmer. Now in the packets, I did include some white cardstock that you can stamp on if you want to. But you've got this beautiful designer series paper scrap that has a wash look to it. So why not just turn that paper over and use it to stamp on? So you're going to need, wasn't there a skinny strip?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? Okay. Yeah. So we cut that down to about 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches.
Okay, so I'll cut this down to 1/2 inch. Okay.
By 2.5.
I hope they can see it. I'm down here toward the bottom. And then 2.5, you say?
About 2.5.
Okay. There we are. There we go.
Okay. And that's where we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, while you have that trimmer there, you've got that piece of Mossy Meadow that we cut off. And this is also 1/2 inch, and it needs to be about 3 inches.
Well, then let's just cut 1/2 inch off.
There you go. That'll work. Good use of your paper, right?
We're trying. Okay. We'll set that aside.
Okay, I will take it.
Take the trimmer. You want me to see if I can stamp?
If you want to, I put the piercing mat over there, but I realized that's a red rubber stamp set, so
Let's go
you
for
don't
it.
need it, do you?
Oh, let's go for it.
You gonna stamp?
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna get out the Mossy Meadow.
And this is where, like I said, if you have a blue ink pad, green, purple, it's gonna work because you've got all those beautiful shades.
There we go.
Awesome. I'll take that. So I can put it over on the chamois.
We'll leave the ink pad open.
No. No thanks.
You spoil all the fun.
And as I'm stamping, as you're stamping, as we stamp, we just take our chamois, our damp chamois, we put the stamp over here, over in the corner, and just lay it on the chamois. And then when we're all done stamping, we clean everything up and put it away. Just setting that stamp over there helps protect the work surface, protect what we're working on, so we don't accidentally
You want to shift it
lay
down to one
something
end
on
like
top.
that one was?
I like it like that. It's totally up to you, though. We have lots of options.
I'm gonna kind of even it up a little bit.
Okay. Lots of options. Whatever looks good to you.
Okay. And then now let's do the fussy part.
What's that?
Where we cut, they got the two little
Pieces of greenery, the little
Pieces of-
flowers.
greenery and the flowers.
And I got your silicone craft sheet. I'm not sure if
It's right
if you
here.
want that, but I figured that you would.
Sounds good.
So he says it's the fussy part, but look at how cute that is, y'all. Super, super cute.
And then
So what we did was we cut that floral image using Mossy Meadow cardstock, and then also using Petunia Pop cardstock. So Dale is just snipping the little flower buds from the Petunia Pop piece. And I think Cheryl may have given you a couple because we kind of had a little oops with one of those die cuts, but it's going to be just fine because all we're using on the Petunia Pop is the little flowers.
okay,
And you have a take your pick over there?
I do. I'm gonna do that trick that you talk about from time to time, where you put your glue on the paper and bring the little pieces to it.
There you go. It's funny how our minds work. In the past, I've tried to put the glue on the tiny little pieces. Of course, I end up with glue all over myself. So like Dale's saying is put the glue either on the cardstock on the silicone craft sheet and dip your pieces in. Try to keep your fingers clean.
Oh, you know I can't do that. That takes all. That means nothing sticks to you.
I think this little floral image is just so cute.
Just 20 more to go and we'll be right there.
No, it's not that bad. Now they're making 2 of each design, so they may need to stop the video when they're rewatching, when they're actually putting their cards together. But we thought that was kind of a pretty nifty way to do this little flower. Cute little idea. We also talked about using our Stampin' Blends to color. Like if we just stamped it on a piece of white,
That would be
color
really
that
pretty.
image. We talked about different ways that we could make this happen, right?
Right.
And we really like this. So just to let you know, if you are watching, if you're leaving comments, they're just not showing up for us tonight. So definitely let us know what you think. Leave your comments and we will go back and read them once the video's over. Facebook is just not cooperating with us tonight. And I really like the live feed when we're able to keep up with the comments, but not to be tonight. Looks pretty cute, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're getting there. I can't get this thing to flip over. Sometimes have a hard time getting it to stick on.
Yeah, you want to be judicious with your glue, but enough that it'll adhere.
Well, they can see when I'm cutting this, the pieces are flying all over the place. So some of these pieces might end up not getting the right bud on there.
Gather some wildflowers, right?
Yeah, So let's try to put a little tiny bit of glue. This glue bottle's running really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Seems like when they're full, they have a lot of pressure, and sometimes you get a little more glue than what you were bargaining for. I really like it when it starts to run low.
I do too.
You have a little more control.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So even though that's a little bit futzy, I think it's worth it. It just turns out really, really cute. And I think that using the Petunia Pop was a good choice. Of course, you could use whatever color you like.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna flip this over. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can see what all it looks like now that I've cut those apart and glued them together. I'm gonna flip it over, and toward the center of it here, I'm gonna put a little glue on it, the stem area.
Mm-hmm. Becca likes not getting your finger sticky using the glue in that way.
Okay. And then I'm gonna place it over here on this side. Probably ought to put a little bit more at the top up here.
Okay, you can pull it forward to where you can work a little bit easier.
I want to do when you're trying to do your trick and not glue it down completely, just kind of sticking it in a few places so that it gives it some depth and
a little
texture.
bit more dimension. Like if you notice on our sample, it's not all glued down, mainly at the top there and at the bottom. And then we're going to put that sentiment piece over, and it's going to help hold that floral piece in place.
I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. I know this is shocking to you.
I'm going to pop that sentiment on.
Pop the cinnamon on.
And I do have a package of the brass butterflies, brushed brass butterflies.
Right there.
Good. I have a package of them that are open. Do you see them?
I see
There
them.
you go. And I just thought those were the perfect complement to...
You gotta take your pick with the pointy end on it.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one with the...
It's the stylus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet I do. Well,
Down below.
there we go. We've only got 7 or 8 of those in the craft room, right?
Right. Alright, we'll put one small one. up here.
It's really wherever you like them.
We'll put a large one.
And in the packets will include several, so they have options.
And then, so we get another large one down here toward the bottom.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you, this is another perk of being part of our Super Inspired Stampers team. Team members are able to place their own orders, get a 20% discount on their products, so that's why we just let them basically just pay for the supplies to create, because they can order their own product and get their discounts. So, all right, that's project number 1. Super happy with it. Think it turned out cute. Love it. Okay, let's work on our next one.
Okay.
And this one is a little bit more straightforward. It is not a fun fold, but we are using Peach Pie, Mossy Meadow, and then that beautiful Designer Series paper. Now in your packet, you'll get 2 pieces of Designer Series paper so you can make your projects. I accidentally cut one of my pieces of paper incorrectly, so we're going to use a different piece on this project. But again, we've got our supplies prepped and ready to go. That Peach Pie card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we'll go ahead and burnish the score line. I think that's a really important step, y'all. And then we've got our inside panel, so we can go ahead. I think that, did I put some on the inside of this one? I'm thinking so. I did, and I like to do that, Dale, before I glue that down, but it'll still work, so go for it.
Well,
Becca says awesome. I'm assuming that's for that last card.
I get a little carried away, but I want to glue stuff down right away.
Oh, okay. It'll work.
Okay.
And typically that's what I do too, is get that inside panel. But when I'm putting a strip of Designer Series paper and emboss layer, I like to add that before I glue the inside panel, but you can do it either way.
Okay.
So again, we're going to need to bring in our paper trimmer because we've got this gorgeous piece of Designer Series paper. It is not the same as what we used on our sample, but I think it still pulls a lot of those same colors. Thought it was really pretty. And so you're going to be able to, if you have a package of this Designer Series paper, you're really going to be able to use whatever you like when you're creating, because so many of the colors are included in so many of the pieces of Designer Series paper. Stop and think about that before you cut, because that's the mistake I made, Dee.
Okay.
You know which way you're doing your 4 and which way you're doing your 5 1/4?
Yeah, the 5 1/4 is going to be the long way, so we'll probably want to cut it first.
That's what I like to do, is cut the larger measurement first. So 5 1/4.
So I'm going to cut the 5 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to capture part of this bottom down here, and then have it so that this is a little below center on my card, and that this top, I get more of the top. What do you think?
I think that's fine. So you're going to trim from either side is what you're saying. Okay.
I'm gonna trim.
So it's 6 inches and we need it to be 4. So you're going to take an inch from either side?
I'm going to take an inch from either side.
Okay.
So I'm going to take an inch from the bottom down here. And I'm going to flip it over and take an inch from the top.
And again, both of your pieces will be the same pattern, but depending on where you cut, you can get a little bit different look from your paper. Some of the papers you may decide to flip over and use the B side versus what we're using, and that's fine too.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we're just going to layer up that pretty Designer Series paper on our Mossy Meadow layer.
Is this supposed to be 4 3/4? Because I got, it's not even in a 4 3/4 by 5. No.
It can't be 4 3/4. 3 3/4.
3
Is that what you're
3/4, yeah,
meaning?
that's what I mean. No, I'm sorry. I just didn't. That looks good.
You've just got a very small border all the way around.
I was trying to put too much border in there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not good at doing this because I don't do it all the time like you do.
Oh, well, I think you're doing just fine. I'm a fan of having that really small border. I feel like, especially once you put the Mossy Meadow and the DSP on the card base, that by having that small border, you really pull the green from the Designer Series paper. It's almost like magic, the way that using the different mats can help you.
Okay.
But I like the small border. If you like a larger border, you could cut your paper down to 5 by 3 3/4. That is something you could do.
Okay.
And then you just get a small border of the peach pie as well. I just like the way it really lifts those colors out of that DSP. So pretty. Okay, so now we've got one of the die cuts, and I'm going to have Dale show you the full piece that you're going to get. That's one of the larger images. But he did a little die cut surgery on our project, and he just cut that basically in half. So you'll get one big die cut piece. When you cut it in half, you'll have a piece of that image for both of your cards.
Okay.
And again, I go easy on the glue to where I'm not completely adhering that down, so I've got a little bit more dimension, but you do what you like. I don't think that's going to pop quite as much on that piece of Designer Series paper as it does over here, but it's what I have left after designing all the projects for the classes, and I thought it still looked pretty.
Okay. Now let's get us a thanks going.
Okay. Using our green ink again. And that is a stitched circle from the Stylish Shapes die. So you saw Dale checking to make sure the stitching was on the right side. Good job, Dee.
I'm trying. You can comment, oh no, I wouldn't have done that.
What?
It doesn't matter.
Let me have that.
Like that right there. I would never leave the ink
stamp.
pad, the stamp open, standing up, ink side up, ink pad open.
All willy-nilly.
Yeah, that's just the way I work. Living on the edge.
So this is really a pretty straightforward card, but I was just so happy with how it turned out. The paper does all the work, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I'm gonna put a couple dimensionals on it. Put this over. Stick it to the
Stick
table.
it to the table. No one has ever done that before.
Gonna bring this in here.
Pretty pretty.
And then let's put a big butterfly on it.
Oh yeah, almost forgot the butterflies.
Let's get one of these big ones right here.
Get up underneath the adhesive on those, I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm about to peel the adhesive off the back of this one.
Gotta be careful.
I like it over here closer to the flower.
Okay. The brushed brass butterflies.
We're getting there.
I don't think I'm saying it any faster than I was.
Brushed brass.
Thanks, Stampin' Up, for naming those that. Okay, so do you prefer our original sample or what we went with when I cut the paper wrong? Which one do you like better?
I really like the
original
the
one.
original one. I like the way the scene sets off. This is lightly stated. Would make a nice sympathy style card.
Oh yes, that would be a very nice sympathy card, wouldn't it? Yes, I think a lot of these papers would lend themselves to that. That's a good idea. Okay, so we have got a real treat for you with card number 3. You are going to be just blown away by this card. It is lovely. So we actually had a tutorial from another demonstrator that I train with, and she was giving us instructions on how to create a fun fold card, and she actually glued 2 card bases together, which I'll tell you, it made it super bulky. It was nice, but Dale's engineering mind kicked in, and he decided that we could do this and make it less bulky and still get a really pretty effect. So it doesn't really look at all like her card, does it?
Well, I think the presentation is a lot like her card.
Okay.
But it's just a little bit different. And it's just, this is what I come up with. Open this up. It's all nice, and you got
really using that designer series paper.
A lot of DSP on a lot of real estate, and then on this one you see both sides of it, and then when you open this up, this B side of this paper is really close to, in some ways, this other one. And at our plant where I work at, we have these weeds, I guess you'd call them. With the
yeah,
purple,
that's what you said. You took a picture of those at work.
with the purpley stems, and so let's go with it.
Okay.
All right?
It's a fun card to make, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to have some dimensions for you. We are using Blackberry Bliss card base for this, and we have already cut it to 8.5 by 5.5, scored it at 4 1/4, and I believe I'll be doing that part for you. But then you want to put it back in your trimmer, and you're going to want to score the front piece at 2 1/8.
I'm gonna do this down here at the end, down here, where it's close to me, where I can see it.
Okay.
And I can hold it straight. Okay.
So Dale's got that scored really well. And you're going to fold that back on top of itself. And we're going to be cutting paper and scoring paper, so we've got a lot going on with this card. But it is really a pretty card. And it's not hard to make. It's going to give a real wow.
Okay.
So if you have someone special that you want to do a birthday card for, I think this would make a beautiful birthday card for a bestie. Something like that.
Okay.
Again, I think you could go the sympathy route with that, D.
Oh.
So let's take a look at this one right quick in our designer series paper and what we did with that piece, which this portion of the card is using this piece. So you can see how much of that pretty paper you get to use on this card. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut.
3/4 off the top, is that what we did?
I think that we actually trimmed a little bit from the top and the bottom.
So we'll take a
whatever
half off
you
the
want
top.
to do.
Let's take a half off the top.
Half off the top and 1/4 off the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put this in here. Hopefully y'all can see.
Becca like the original on our second card.
Okay.
So just be sure and cut your paper right, Becca. Don't do what I did.
And then we're going to take 1/4 off of this one.
Okay.
Okay. And then
When you turn it, you're going to cut 2 inches from that left-hand side. And then you're going to score that in half, so at 2 inches. Be sure to grab that lighter blade because you don't want to cut at this point, and be gentle with your, you were going to do that.
pretty.
You got to be gentle with designer series paper when you're scoring, or you'll actually tear it.
Okay.
Did it work?
I think so.
Okay. And we really like to use the Simply Scoreboard, but when you are scoring designer series paper, I really think the scoring tool on the trimmer is a better option, just because it's easy to get a little bit too deep with your score line, and then you're sad because your paper tears or cuts.
I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to get it lined up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to burnish it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely burnish it. Okay, so let's set those pieces aside and cut the next piece of Designer Series paper. Okay. So we'll bring this forward again, and you can see what we've done with this piece so that you can see both sides, right?
All right. So we want to take some off the bottom, slip it over. Yeah, take it off the bottom and use this side over here.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I really like the darker purple kind of swirl. Okay. That's what I went by when I was cutting mine.
Okay, so all right. Then I need to cut. I need to cut a little off of this.
Because you're going for 4 by 5 1/4 again.
So all right, let's do the 4 this way.
Okay.
That kind of cuts all of it off. Let's take 1 inch off of this side and 1 inch off the other side.
Just watch them closely.
Okay, I'm taking 1 inch off of this side, and I'm taking 1 inch off the other side. I'm gonna flip it over so that I'm cut it at 4 to make sure that I'm.
It's just what the part of the paper that you like. You don't have to get like we're doing where you're cutting from both sides. You can cut from just one, whatever look you want from your paper.
And then we want 5 1/4. All right, I'm gonna run this up to the top. I'm gonna have a little bit more of the scenery at the top. Okay.
And be sure to keep all those little scraps. Especially with the watercolor wash, it's so pretty to stamp your sentiments on there. If that's a look that you like. So let's just make sure we've got all of our pieces now, Dee. Everything's looking good, right?
Yep.
Okay, we have an inside panel.
All right.
You see it?
Right here, yep.
Okay, so we have got some wild wheat cardstock, and it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So again, no, I don't think so. I think it's 5 1/4 by 4, and then the white panel is 5 by 3 3/4. So we've got a pretty good border going all the way around, but that'll be cut for you. You're just going to be cutting your DSP.
Okay.
So we will layer on that white onto the wild wheat. And wild wheat is one of the in colors from last year. And I have to admit, I wasn't crazy about it at first. Were you?
It was hard to warm up to. How about that? Whereas this year's in colors were pretty easy to warm up to.
Oh yeah, I love them all. But wild wheat was kind of the little stepchild last year. But I've really used it a lot more than I thought I would. And it looks really pretty as a layer back there for this project.
Okay. Try to get this centered up pretty good. Move down. Oh, yeah.
You really want to watch your border to the right because it is going to affect when you put your card together.
Okay. Got that?
Okay. You want to come back over to this side and put this 2-inch piece on the front. Oops, there you go.
Little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot, little squiggle in the middle, leaving me plenty of room for my fingers to be there without being in the glue, right?
There you go.
Because I tend to stick my fingers in the glue. It keeps shifting back and forth on me. I get a little...
just take your time. I've found that as the weather has warmed up some, the glue is a little
lighter viscosity.
Thank you. Thank you for the technical. That's exactly what I was thinking. How did you know that?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was not at all. Okay, so explain to us here, Dee, how we're doing this part. And we've also got the little strip. Don't forget about this part to where we've got that border to kind of keep everything consistent. Almost looks like you're looking out a window, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right, so let's work on this a little bit.
Kind of straighten up here so that, there you go.
All right, so this is gonna fold over, and this, we're gonna, when we open this up, the piece that matched up with that, we're gonna put it on this edge right here. And then we're gonna put this Blackberry Bliss strip in here, right on the edge.
So go ahead and just adhere that one side, this panel,
Okay.
to this panel. Let's do that part first.
Okay. Little dot, little dot, little dot, little squiggle in the middle. And
so keeping that folded up helps you get everything lined up the way you want it.
Need to just slide down just a tiny bit. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this piece right here at the edge, okay?
So we cut that a 1/2 inch wide. You really need a 1/4 inch showing on your project. About a 1/4 inch, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Not a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch.
1/8 of an inch.
But we cut that a 1/2 inch wide, so you've got something a little bit more substantial to hold on to. Just a tiny bead of glue down that one side.
Okay. And then I'm going to kind of lay it back on this card. So
Or you can visualize that better.
Yeah. Or try to.
And we actually went back and added that piece on our original project. It really needed it.
Yeah, I did.
That tiny little border makes a big difference in just the symmetry of the way that that looks.
Okay, and now I'm going to put a little extra glue on here. And I'm going to lay this piece in place.
So by putting that over your piece of basic white, even if it's not perfect, if your basic white is not perfectly lined up, your designer series paper is going to mimic that, and when you close that down onto your designer series paper, everything is going to be nice and neat. Give it just a minute to let it dry.
Give it the back rub.
Back rub, yes.
Okay. So now you have the card where it opens up.
Give it a minute and let it dry, okay?
Oh, I can't wait.
Sonia said it's very pretty. Thank you.
There we go. Okay.
Yes, it is a pretty card.
Now we got some stamping to do.
And again, it's because of that pretty paper.
The
It makes it so easy, doesn't it?
These watercolor washes with the sceneries like they got with them are pretty amazing.
And I have to say, I do prefer 12 by 12 paper. So one of the things that we're really doing in stamp class this month is showing you some ways to use 6 by 6 paper and get good mileage out of it, to where you don't have a lot of scraps left over.
Okay.
So we'll have stamp class virtually and in person next Saturday, the 15th. I think I may have a kit left. Cheryl and I were working on prep today, so we might have one extra. If you're not registered, reach out to me right away if you're interested.
Hope I didn't rock this too much.
It's okay. If you need another piece, we'll grab another piece.
Looks like we did pretty good. Here you
Good.
go. Sorry. Okay. Now we'll glue this on the get plenty out there so that I can get it on my fingers.
No, Sonia said she has a hard time cutting these pretty scenes. You just have to do it, don't you?
Well, understood.
It is pretty in the package, but it's so much prettier on a project, so. we would say go for it. You can buy more, right?
I'm going to tell her the big problem.
What?
Your sides have to be more than 7 inches to put it in a large envelope to get large envelope rates. If you
leave it whole?
If you leave it whole.
If you leave it 6 by 6?
If you leave it 6 by 6, it actually becomes a little bit larger and it doesn't shift.
I think she's just saying she doesn't want to cut it and use it. I don't know. Let us know if that's what you're saying. And I hear you, but it's so much prettier on a project. It is. It's pretty in the package. But man, when you make a cute project and you know exactly who you want to send it to, so much more fun. And I'll tell you, Stampin' Up! Has never let me down. When I use my paper, they always make more pretty paper.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She said, yippee. So there's always lots of other pretty papers. But these scenes, you do want to take a look at them before you cut into them, because just kind of what appeals to you, the portion that you want to use, and then use those little scraps on your envelopes, on your inside panels, that type of thing.
That was one of the things we were supposed to do with that one, is put it inside.
We were.
And you forgot to remind me to do that.
It's okay. You'll notice, Dale, you put your dimensionals on your card base, didn't you? And then brought the sentiment to it.
I glued it straight down. I didn't,
oh, you
I
did?
didn't use
okay.
dimensionals.
That's okay.
And then, let's put a big one.
And so the addiction begins. The addiction continues, right?
Yeah,
I am a paper person. I absolutely love pattern paper. And I'll tell you, I've been a demonstrator for 11 years now, a little over 11 years. And Stampin' Up! Has really upped their game with designer series paper since I joined as a demonstrator. Butterfly?
Yep, got 2 here and 1 up there.
Okay.
It's kind of standing up on its own a little bit.
Yeah.
But I got faith in the U.S. mail. They're going to make it flat for me.
They probably will. So you can go back to your original version.
Yes.
It looks very much the...
Okay, and then flip the
I
inside over.
love that opens up the way that it does. Love that. Did a good job, Dee.
Well, thank you.
Let me go ahead and bring these other cards in. And just kind of remind you of the other projects that we created tonight.
Let's put them down like that.
Okay. Just like that.
Yeah.
So this is our Finally Friday free online class. Don't forget, if you would like to get your hands on the kit, you can place a $40 order in our online store, and I'll post the host code. You do need to use it. Then that gets you the packet with everything you need to create. All you really need to add is your adhesive, and you do need the stamps if you want it to be exactly like ours, or you can substitute greetings. And then we will supply your designer series paper, your cardstock, your die cut pieces, all of that. So you'll just add your ink and your adhesive and make your pretty projects. You'll have this video to refer back to, and you can always reach out to us if you have any questions. Now, we love that with our Finally Friday class, we use the same suite of products that we do for stamp class, so you'll have lots of different ideas that you can see with these products. And then over in our community Facebook group called CT's Craft and Connect, I've started putting up an album of products or projects made with the same products. So it's kind of a resource for you to have all of those put in one place. And I highly encourage you, if you use these products to create, put your photo there in the album. You are able to add to the album. So that would be really fun too, to see what you're creating. Let me check comments right quick, because it does look like we're getting a couple more coming through. Really appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Yeah, Becca, I can't wait for you to create your projects. Thank you so much for ordering the kit in advance. If you are one of our team members on Super Inspired Stampers team, then it's just $20 for the packet, and you can buy your own stamps and dies, get your discount, recreate the projects exactly as we do or substitute, whatever you want. And we'll have those packets ready to go out by next Saturday.
The substitutions would be
yeah,
amazing.
You know, we do try most of the time to design projects so that you can use stamps that you have in your collection. I really do feel like you can collect a lot of stamps. You can collect plenty of stamps. And to me, adding the pretty papers, the new embellishments and ribbon, that can really freshen up the stamps that you already own. But those stamps, if you take care of them, keep them clean, keep them in their case, and really love your stamps, then they'll serve you for years and years. We were just talking about having some of the older ones that are mounted on wood, and they actually have the date on them. And what'd you say, Dee? Like 2002, 2005. And we especially use these little stamps at Christmas time to stamp the envelope. We've got a little heart. But they still work just fine. So care for your stamps, and you'll get a lot of use out of that investment. Okay, we really appreciate y'all being here, whether it's been in person or if you'll be watching the replay. Let us know if we can help you in any way, and we will see you next month for Finally Friday. First Friday of each month is when we come to you live on Facebook with this free online class. So we will see you next month. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.